Hey guys, welcome back to the Political Peasants podcast. It's been a cool minute, like always. I hope you guys are doing well. How you doing, Kenneth?
I'll chill. Hopefully, when you're done with school, we can do.
Yeah. I'm just trying to finish school, guys. Bear with me. I'm sorry. I know that there's not an actual schedule for these things now. We're just doing what we can, but it is what it is. Let's get into the topics of today. Let's start with obviously the current outgoing problem right now in Congress is that they're going through a budget reconciliation bill that they're trying to pass through. The last thing that we heard about that, and when we talked about this, was that they were still trying to negotiate the fact that how much they wanted to bring into the budget. First it was what $10 trillion,
Good.
and then it went down to approximately what 6 or 7. And I guess the progressives were like, okay, let's compromise, and they end up compromising for a $3.5 trillion budget. And from then on, they were just okay. We already compromised. Let's just sign this thing. And most of these things, obviously, we're going to include things like I think childcare, expansion of Medicare for that. Also, Medicare expansion for eyesight and was it eyesight and what and I,
Dental.
and dental for the elderly. Was also mother paternity leave as well as the father paternity leave. Reduction of prescription drugs. They were going to be able to subsidize that with obviously um, government money. And then also we had, I think that's all. All right, that's all.
Those are major parts. Yeah.
Yeah, and all those little things. Obviously, we have the infrastructure bill that came along with it. And but the problem now is that we have people like Munchin and Kristen Cinema holding the bill down, and it's been like that for the longest, right? There are the reason why this bill hasn't passed, and also they're the reason why they still battling it right now, right? And most of the Democrats have realized, okay, because of these two people, we have not come to a complete agreement, and it's been too long. And I think most of the elections for those seats to the Congress are just almost around the corner, right? The next year, and they're worried that if they don't do anything right now to pass and to actually help the people during a situation with COVID and the fact that a lot of people don't have jobs and rent and all these like common expenses are going up, life expenses, all this stuff. That they don't have, if they don't help the people, these people are not gonna come and vote for them, or when it comes to the re-elections for their seats. So most Democrats, even those establishment Democrats, are coming and say, "Hey, we need to get this done," and they have gone publicly and say that people like Munchin and Christian Cinema are not doing any help, and we should pressure them so they could come forward and vote for the reconciliation bill. But now Christian Cinema said, "Okay," and Munchin said, "Okay, bring it down to 1.75 trillion, and maybe we vote for it." And people like Bernie Sanders and the rest of the progressives are saying, hell no, we really brought it down to 3.5 trillion. We're not gonna do that. So Kenneth, what do you think about this?
Yeah. So this is something that oh, like I don't know if you remember. I think was it 2014? Was Max was up for re-election. By the way, like everyone knew. Well, I guess all the progressive knew that Joe Manchin going to be an issue from day one, right? Hella conservative,
Yeah.
hella corrupt, right? He doesn't care. Like you see right now, like a lot of the reasons why he wanted the green stuff out of um the bill was because it would hurt coal, which is what he's invested in, right? He's mainly invested in coal, so it would hurt that industry. He doesn't want that, right?
Mhm.
So he's trying to play this game of pretending like he cares about how much the package is.
Yeah,
All he's really doing is like he's really just helping the bid, right?
yeah,
Because before it's like this is what I usually say, right? And I've said it multiple times. The way it usually goes is that whatever happens,
hmm,
the they would blame of that one party would blame the opposite party, right? Like if Republicans do something crazy or they can't get something done, they'll blame the Democratic Party.
yeah.
Democratic Party can't get something done, they'll blame the Republican. Now everyone in the world knows it's another Democrat that's causing the problem. They get
You see
something
what
to
I'm
say,
saying? Don't blame
and
the
so
Republicans.
these Democrats are holding up Democratic priorities because they're corrupt as hell. And
Essentially,
so it's kind of ridiculous that it's coming back to halt. Like I said, they need to get rid of Joe Manchin as quickly as possible because he's been threatening a lot of stuff. If like there's been reports saying that he's been threatening to the party, stuff like that. But they really need to just like all they've been doing is or they the campaign against him. They can't really get rid of him.
yeah, they'd be holding
They
back the
can
line.
yeah, they're just holding everything back. Like they're literally just standing in the way until they get what they specifically want. And they don't even know they haven't even said what that was, right? So it's like
Yeah, and it's crazy for them to have the excuse of like, oh, we care about the budget. Obviously, what you said they don't care about that. It's about helping Republicans get elected, as well as help those people who are financially backing them up, right? Because they're not just doing it for
right,
shits and giggles to help their fellow Republican congregate people. Um, they're doing it because they're getting paid, and they're also dragging it down as much as possible. That way, this reconciliation bill and infrastructure bill don't get through, and it just gets tossed away. As it seems, is going in that direction. And since most progressives are saying, "Look, you're not gonna lowball us, as well as we're not gonna allow you give the crumbs to the American people again." Literally, this 1.75 trillion budget that Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin have brought together cuts all the essential parts that the American people need, right? Medicare, reduction of prescription drugs, family leave, family what pay,
right. Hey,
yeah,
family leave.
pay family leave, my bad, and other stuff, right? And they said we're not gonna allow that to happen. You already did as much as possible to bring a budget down. It's 3.5 trillion or nothing. We're willing to let this bill die if even if if you guys don't agree on this. And
Right.
and most people people who know much about politics are saying, oh yeah, I think Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema are on the right, because if they vote for a 2.5 trillion budget, their seats are on the line. They might get voted out of their own districts, right? And that's a lie, right? Because, for example, Joe Manchin, who lives in Virginia, most people in Virginia, yeah, they're culturally conservative, right? They mostly vote for cultural issues when it comes to the right or conservative issues. But when it comes to economical issues, they're very left forward leaning. Right? They care about Medicare. They care about increasing the minimum wage. They care about having a wage that they help them live a comfortable life. They care about pay, family leave. They care about all these issues that a lot of progressives are fighting for. Therefore, if you start talking to them about that and the fact that Joe Manchin is trying to prevent that from actually going through, then that's gonna hurt Joe Manchin. But I think progressives made a mistake to not. They did not go to Virginia and start laying the ground to maybe put some pressure on Joe Manchin and these issues, because that's the truth. Most people think, oh no, Joe Manchin has our back. right? He's fighting for us, and that's not true. If anything, everyone knows that he's fighting for his own benefit because he's getting paid by these corporations, as well as that we know that Joe Manchin has his own coal company in Virginia, right? So if something like this will go past, for example, the infrastructure bill, that will help actually hurt his pockets in the long term. So yeah, Kenneth, it's disgusting just to see, but this how American politics is in general, right? Kenneth, you there? I can't hear you. Yeah, something got caught. Sorry, guys, we had some technical difficulties. I can't hear Kenneth at all. We are back. We're back, guys. Sorry, we had some technical. I couldn't hear Kenneth. Anyways, Kenneth, what happened?
But
Yeah. Again, you're
yeah, just going back to the Kristen Cinema Joe Manchin thing. Yeah, it's just they're always gonna hold it up, right? They're always gonna hold it up no matter what you do. Like Joe Manchin's been doing this for like 10 plus years. I think he was telling me earlier that Kristen Cinema came out with like a book or something, right?
yeah. She wrote a book because she's getting so much attention from the media that I guess someone told her, hey, this is the time to if you're gonna write a book or if you're gonna throw out a book, it's time to put it out there.
Right, right, yeah, and then on top of that, you're saying that she got protested at a wedding.
Yes.
Or yeah, I remember there was a couple of weeks ago. It was the wedding. But times it was in the bathroom. It was just like one of those things where and it's for her. I think it's way worse. I think it's way worse for her than Joe Manchin because while Joe Manchin is and lying, Kristen Siddle is like way worse. Man. Like if you saw her campaign video,
Yeah.
and what she did in what she's doing in the Senate, and what she campaigned on was like a complete 180. And she was like talking as a complete progressive in her political ads. But as soon as she got into office, it was just over back to back just lies, just crazy things. I'm just like, wow. Like if people in her state don't even want her there anymore. Like the Republican in her state is more popular. I think hers is what, Nevada, right?
No. It's Arizona, I guess.
Oh, Arizona. Okay, yeah. Like she won there, and now people are just like, nah, we want the Republican now.
Yeah.
I was
I
just
mean,
like, it's crazy.
imagine because she's conservative. She has voted conservatively, even though she's a Democrat herself. Uh, and yeah, I don't know why. Imagine for people to say, let me go even more conservative and vote for the Republican instead of her." Because
Right.
maybe like if you want someone like her, I mean, if you want someone conservative, might as well vote for the Republican,
Right.
right? Because if she's doing all this stuff, might as well vote for the fucking Republican. I mean, why did we vote for her, right? If she said she was gonna fight for certain economic rights or for certain things that were left leaning economically speaking, and she didn't do it at all. If anything, she's filling her pockets with a lot of corporate money.
That's the truth. It's just crazy, man. It's like and the most important part is like I said, they're gonna like now the Democrats don't have an excuse, right?
Yeah,
So when they look at when the Republicans start doing their attacks, right, for the upcoming elections,
yeah.
they're gonna just be like, see, they had all the power, House, they had the Senate, they had everything, not the Supreme Court, but they had the House and the Senate. They could have passed anything they want to, but look at that. They keep fighting each other because it's work, blah blah blah, right?
Hmm.
And it's like they're gonna look at Mr. Cinema and Joe Manchin to prove that point. And it's just really crazy that like, well, it's funny that it's that whole thing about party unity ain't really coming back around anymore. But what's also crazy is just that they just keep getting away with it. Like you need to campaign in those states, man. Put some
Yeah.
ads up, yeah. Like not only put well because they're already attacking them in their states, right? But they need to like put up some candidates, man. This is getting ridiculous.
The thing is, when you don't have the balls to go against these people, and you think that you could go around and compromise and be this uh, non-fighty, congressman that we all this together, and we could work things out. We don't have to be uncivil about it. I was like, these people are literally fighting against my livelihood, and you want me to be civil?
They're seeking. Think about how much. Think about how much people had to put in just to get the Democrats a majority, right? Just
Hmm.
to get remember, like people were going crazy in Georgia just to get
Votes.
what was it right Warnock
Yeah.
and I forget the other person elected just to get them into the Senate and get the Democrats a majority. Well, it wasn't even a majority. It's like it's the
Uh,
same, but Kamala Harris could swing it.
yeah. Yeah.
Just to get that far, people were, like flying from like all over the country campaigning in there. A lot of YouTubers. I think where Andrew Yang went back when he wasn't crazy, and people like put so much time and money into it, and these two are just here, just ruining it. Like everything, just like nah, it's too much. We don't like it. Do this, do that, and like chances are they're still not going to vote for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
I don't even know why Joe Biden's entertaining this.
you know why? Because I think he's slightly conservative himself. He's well known. He's I think yeah he's well known. Even Bernie Sanders put it out in one of his debates that he votes very conservative. He did vote for the war in Iraq, right? He voted to actually not increase taxes on the corporations.
Right.
So he's very conservative living all his life. So for him to not do anything about it or to just support things like this is not surprising. It shouldn't be at this point. Other people, that I like to praise Biden because he was Barack Obama's vice president, and you think that he should like Barack Obama or anything maybe left leaning like him. No. And Barack Obama, even though he did when he was in president of the United States, he ran in 2008. He obviously ran as just Bernie Sanders, another populist was
Yeah.
very left leaning, and when he became president for the next 8 years, he was very conservative in the way he governed. All right. Uh,
Yeah. By his own
so
admission.
yeah, and most people say, "Oh, it's because he had a Congress who was maybe right Republican, and he needed to be more left, right leaning, not for him to like meet people in the middle." I was like, he literally like gave all his leverage without and then last time he at last minute he understood that, oh my god, I gave all my leverage. Now they could do whatever they want because they had to vote for the things that I want, and that ended up causing him not doing much, right? And a lot of people was like, oh, thanks Obama, right? It's the general saying now, thanks Obama, you didn't do shit, right? But so but Barack Obama as as a public, I'm gonna say, what's the right for as a public persona, all right? Yeah, public political figure. He's well liked amongst the voters, especially in this country, right?
Of course.
So they held him in a high regard, and anyone who has contributed to his presidency, they do that. So Biden is one of them, and most people get surprised that Biden is doing really bad in his first year as president of the United States. Right?
Well,
I
I would say really bad,
But he's not
but
doing good at
right,
all.
right. He's not being amazing. It's really, really, it's really crazy. Like I said,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
unfortunate.
surprising.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it
not
really is unfortunate.
unfortunate, but we should have known. I mean, I think
I
we
mean,
knew.
because they do this, but like it's like they just kicked it into overdrive now. It's like
Mm.
F it, yo, I'm gonna burn down the whole thing. It's crazy.
That's the tactics they use. And I mean, they've been using this for since the beginning of times. I knew it was gonna happen when people like Christian Sinema, when two people from Congress, from your own party, is holding the line, when the rest of the other politicians there, which are many, I was like, oh my god, this not gonna get it anywhere. And people like Bernie Sanders try like to get something done. He's gonna have to compromise a lot, which he did, and the most progressives did. And now they said, bro, what are you gonna do? They're gonna keep compromising with us. But the end for Christian Cinema and Joe Manchin is not to get anything done, just like any other Republican, right? And the Democrats, they already saw that from the get go, and they saw, and then one day when they saw that what was going on, they immediately say we have to do something, or there's gonna be the beginning of our demise, because people are gonna start voting against us, right? So it is what it is. That's the current situation right now. Most progressives are holding the end of their bargain, saying, "Look, we compromised with 3.5 trillion. We want those 3.5. We're not gonna go below that, and if it takes us to end this and come back to the table, then it is what it is." You know what I
Right.
mean? Which we applaud that, because we want progressives to be bold and have put their foot on the table and say enough is enough. But this is the only reason. This is the only time they're doing it, when they feel more comfortable, because the rest of the other established Democrats are saying, "Oh shit, yeah, we are with you, because our fucking job is in the line," right?
Right.
But now they feel comfortable. But how about those times where it is uncomfortable, when you don't have the most of your colleagues' approval, and you have to still put the food on the table and said, "No, I'm not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this," and fight for things, right? We applaud them for doing it, but I'm not gonna give them full credit, because they're just doing it because it's the most is very popular right now to do it.
Right.
Do it when it's not. You know what I mean? But let's move on to, I guess, the second topic was, um, which is the world climate change that we also fighting. And I guess Joe Biden has been a little bit outgoing in the decision. You know what I mean? He's being obviously he was able to unite us with the rest of the top leaders. As you see, we had the climate change group that Trump was able to get out and say we're not gonna be part of that because it's bullshit. Joe Biden came back and said, "No, let's be the world leaders again, fighting against climate change." Since then, obviously, Joe Biden has been participating with the COP26, and they be going, in meetings all around the world, trying to see what could they do to fight climate change. And since then, I think they all met on the UN Climate Summit in Italy, and they did like a photo op where they all took a picture at a prominent place in Italy, and they posted that picture saying, "Oh, we want this picture to show everyone that we're together on this, and we want everyone to help us out fighting climate change, because we cannot do it alone." And then people are saying, "What can we do? You guys are the world leaders. You guys have the power to like literally fight out as much as hard as you can to to end this problem that we have, or at least try to solve it, because we don't have enough time. But you guys are asking us to do it. We don't have the power. We telling you, bro, you go. That's why you're in the meeting." So what do you think about this, Kenneth?
Wait, this is not. This is okay. This is nothing new, right? This is nothing new. All right, like this. These people, it's just lip service so they can stay in power, right? So they don't really care. Like, so they're gonna fly it on private jets. They're gonna, do all this really luxurious things because, to be honest, that's what they want. They want luxurious things. They want to be able to say, "Hey, I'm the leader of this country. I'm the leader of this country, and I have more power than you, right? I'm gonna fly on a private jet. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stay at this 5-star hotel. I'm gonna roll with like 15 SUVs, right? And I get it, security too, but even still, and it's this constant thing where like they put it out there. You have to show them, hey, people have to tell them, hey, man, what you're doing makes no sense compared to what you right now. Obviously, that was most likely a lie, but it's not something that happened for the first time, right? I mean, I don't know if you remember in 2019, I believe there was a historian. So there's this conference called I think Davos, right? Yeah, Davos, and there was this historian there who what was it, Rutger Bregman, something like that. And he got internet famous because he kept it real, right? And so, in that summit, you had all these people, all these rich people, right? They're like super rich, and they're like, "Hey, how do we fix inequality?" That was a topic. How do we fix inequality? And all these rich people pretty much said the same thing. He was there and was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta like work hard and blah blah blah, and all this other stuff." And he was like, "No, it has nothing to do with that. You just pay your damn taxes. Like you can solve this problem. Just pay your damn
Yeah.
taxes." And this is kind of the same thing. It's like, here you have all these world leaders, okay, and they're saying like, "Hey, man, we need the world to come together to stop climate change." It's like, why don't you just do your effing job? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the world is already together on this. Everyone wants you to solve climate change. People want you to put in anti-climate change measures, research it, you know, research whatever you need to, whatever technology you need to help slow it down, whatever, right? That's what people want already, right? This is the vast majority of people on Earth. Well, not maybe not the vast majority, but most likely majority of people on Earth, right?
Yeah.
And yet, for some reason, nothing happens or very little happens. And then they come around with this BS saying like, "Hey, we need to have everyone come together so we can do climate change." Like, no, go back to your country, do your damn job, and you don't have to worry about it. Well, you should still worry about it, but it's like,
Yeah.
go back, and do your damn job, and which what people elected you for, right? Like you're supposed to be the extension of the people, right? That's what you're supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to be the person that said, "Hey, um, we like your agenda. We like the fact that you're tough on climate change. Okay, so we're gonna put you in office so you can do that." And then you turn around and say, "Hey, man, we need to make sure everyone is okay with uh, passing climate change legislation and working together." It's just like, what do you mean? It's like, it's not like you're doing nothing. It's not like you're nothing. Like, you're a leader of a country. Like, do your job.
Yeah. 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 And I completely agree with you. The fact that they like to call themselves so, leaders of the world, and they seem just to go, just like, hey, there's a little vacation. We're all gonna meet, mingle, catch up with each other at the UN, United Nations climate change committee and shit. And all they do is like, hey, the rest of the world help us out, battle this climate crisis that we have right now. I was like, you guys have the power,
Right.
you have the resources, you have the connections with all these powerful corporations and people who are doing most of the damage across the world, and all you do is just like nothing. You
Like,
do the minimum effort to actually battle the crisis that we have on, and then you turn around and say, "Hey, help us out." I was like, "How? We already gave you
right.
the power. We voted for you, people. You're in a position because of us. Then you go out there and solve this problem. You get me? You're doing it by meeting, and just to give you, another heads up, China and Russia did not go. They did not attend, and people were saying, "Oh, bad on them, bad on them." Like they're going like this, just like I said, no. Oh, look at them.
They probably knew that was just a waste of time. They already knew it was just going to be a waste of time.
I think so.
Because what's going to happen is the same thing that happened last time, right? Everyone's going to say, "Hey, we need to do X, Y, Z." No one's going to do it, and everyone's going to move on with their life.
Yeah, or that, or
like last time.
They don't, because they make them look bad in a way. It's like, oh, look at them, look at China. They don't want to put their own little inches. Like China is also, they have the highest population.
Right.
They do emit a lot of pollutants. Right, but everyone has to put in. Everyone has to do their due diligence, especially the United States. Right, but
the bigger the country, the more they should be doing.
Yeah,
well, that's not true. Maybe the more carbon they output, the more they should do. So United States and China definitely need to get on.
No, and for them, not like, for example, for Biden to say, "Oh, we're not gonna become like the world largest manufacturers in electric cars until like 2035," I think he said. And then it's like people and the scientists like, bro, 2035 is way too late.
Right.
Right now we're in 2021, and you want to do it in 15 years from now, bro. Well, then why you go out there and say that we need to fight when you're not doing it? You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, yeah, we don't want to be extremists, but in this extreme situation, it needs extreme measures, right? So if you're not gonna do your part, then
every year it gets kicked down the road. You have to a drastic act.
Yeah, I mean, the next time we are gonna be like, suffering for all this like sun rays that's hitting it's hitting up the planet, and we always, we're gonna have like days it's 120 degrees, in areas where it's supposed to be 90. And imagine those. And then those areas that have 120, that's gonna be even worse. It's gonna be inhabitable. The ocean's gonna keep the ocean level is gonna keep increasing. Those people who live near the ocean, the older houses, hotels are gonna be underwater.
Or the coast.
Yeah, and let's not talk about the recent change on the climate in general. We have storms being even worse, or there's places that never saw a snowstorm before. They getting snow. There are places that obviously they never got rain. They're getting rain, and those places that they just like things are changing. It's shifting, right? And we're seeing the consequences of this climate change, and it's gonna affect us. The people who inhabit this planet. It's not gonna end the planet itself, which is one of the most famous excuses that a lot of conservatives like to bring in. It's not gonna end. The war is not gonna the end. It's not gonna end. And sure, it's not gonna the end, but it's gonna make it even worse for us, because it might make this planet inhabitable. And if this planet is no longer inhabitable, we would have to leave it. And the only people who could leave it are the people who are ultra rich. You see the movies, right?
Yeah, but I don't even think
well, not in the moment, but in the future. We're talking about 100 years, but not more than that.
I don't even think in the future. I think you got one, and you have to take care of it.
Yeah. When people know it's all, we only have a certain amount of time. Like they're gonna make anything. I mean, when people have the will to do something, they get it done. But since this same old business, it's not gonna affect me who lives in the city, right? So it is what it is. And this is gonna be an ongoing topic for decades to come.
Uh,
Now, unless we don't elect the right people, or the people who do we elect do the right stuff, even if they get massively criticized for it. All right,
yep.
it takes guts to change the world, but who's gonna be that guy, right? I was like, look around. And it's like when you go to school the first day, and they say who's gonna volunteer, and everyone just looking at each other. Like, it's not gonna be me. I don't want to make I don't want to make mistakes and get myself ridiculed, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes, you have to stand up and say, okay, I'll do it myself. All right. Anyways, that's going on with the climate change. A bunch of clowns doing a lot of like tricks and whatnot just to show off that they're actually doing something. But it is what it is. Another topic that we want to move on is now COVID-19. Obviously, we all dealing with COVID and the repercussions that has brought this pandemic into us. Whether if it's just job loss or the fact that we had to all wear masks wherever we go, and the fact that we all had to get vaccinated. Right? I already got my first two doses. My family got the first two doses. My dad, who happens to be above the age of 60, got his two doses plus the what's it called?
Booster?
Yeah, the booster vaccine. So we're good. At least we're protected for now. That doesn't mean for all these people who had to be smart asses and say, "Oh, you still can get COVID." Obviously, you still get COVID even if you're vaccinated, but you
Right.
have a better chance to survive it because you have now the the anti you have the antibodies in your system to battle it whether if you get infected. That doesn't mean that you cannot die from it. There's people who, if you have a pre-existing conditions, diabetes, or you suffer from the heart or anything like that, then obviously it increases your chances, even if you have getting vaccinated, of dying, right? So this has been an ongoing issue for what's going on right now. I think we did mention it last time we talked, as the fact that if you have a job in the government, or even if you have a job in general, I think there has been a mandate. I think Joe Biden signed it last time, right? Where he said that every employee is gonna have to get vaccinated. If not, then I'm sorry, you're gonna get fired. And I think most of the people who has seen this already or being affected by it, there's a lot of people who work in the healthcare industry who say, "Look, I don't want to get vaccinated, and I'm using the religious exempt as an excuse, saying, look, I can't get vaccinated. It goes against my own religion." And we all know that's just a bunch of BS.
Yeah. I mean, thing is when it comes to this, right, is because we talked about it. Well, we didn't talk about it. 'Cause I haven't they stopped accepting organ transplant patients if they had not been vaccinated. Like if you have been vaccinated and you are looking for like a new organ, or like
Hmm.
a heart, not a heart, but like a liver or something.
Yeah.
We're not really a liver either, but a kidney or something. And you would normally get it by being on the wait list.
Uh-huh.
But because people are not getting vaccinated, they're deciding not to wait list
Okay.
if they're not vaccinated.
If they're not.
Um, yeah, so if they're not vaccinated, they can't get the organ transplant. And people say that was pretty messed up, and I agree it is messed up, but I also understand why, right? For that case in particular, the reason why they weren't giving the organs to to the people who needed it was because they reason that if they give them the organ, right, and they get infected with COVID-19, they essentially just wasted the organ,
Yeah.
right? Because now the organ is going to get destroyed by COVID because they didn't get vaccinated. So it's going to be a waste of time. So they just said screw it. And I do feel it I do feel for some of the people like that. One of the interviews they did was like a woman who she was like right next in line for an organ transplant. They found it and everything, but they had to enforce the policy and say kind of like turn her away because because she didn't vaccinate it. So pretty much they had to make her choose between do you want a chance of dying or do you want to die for sure? And so I don't like it. Like I said, I don't really like it. I think it was a little messed up, but I understand why. I definitely understand.
Yeah, and this is it always comes back to the fact that there's a lot of people who are very ignorant voluntarily about the issue.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of all these mandates and telling people what to do. But guess what? Your health is putting, you not choosing to get vaccinated is putting other people's lives at risk.
Yeah,
Right.
that's really the thing that a lot of people have to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a lot of people have this like idea that whatever like whatever happens, because it's a virus, it's like completely on them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they either will get it and recover from it perfectly fine, or they'll never get it ever under any circumstance, right? And so they kind of they take that stance and they don't accept the fact that when you don't get vaccinated or you spread COVID, spreads, right? It spreads. Like you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting everyone around you. Like most people wouldn't care if you just hurt yourself in the process, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But when it comes to like hurting everyone around you who didn't do anything wrong, that's where the problem starts to sit in for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's because it's one of those things where it's just this is not a personal problem anymore. This is a problem for like everyone around you too.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, all you're doing is putting them in danger. Like that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, right now, I think we did talk about this before the podcast, where Michigan is experiencing these high cases, right? About more than 3,000 cases per day, average, right? About 65 deaths. But, that it doesn't have to happen. For
Yeah,
example, go ahead.
it really doesn't because it's one of those things where it's like one of the things that I think that was really mistaken in the early part of the pandemic is comparing it to the flu, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were saying like, "Hey, it's just the flu. It's just like something for a little bit, and you'll get over it." And that doesn't do it justice. Not really flu. The flu. I think I said it over before, but the flu killed like maybe like 30,000 people last year. COVID-19 killed like 500,000. So it's like it's clearly worse, right?
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where like it's the same reason about the mask mandates and the staying at home orders, right? Stay at home orders is that people, in my opinion, I think people just get emotional, right? They don't really think about what they're doing and how it affects everyone around them. And they just kind of just like, hey, I could just do this. And they say it really ends up hurting everyone because it's like I said, if nothing else, if nothing else, all you're doing is making the virus stronger.
Yeah. Creating new variants of the virus, and just like we did, we have that one variant that killed a lot of people in Asia.
Yeah.
What's it called again? Yeah. Um, yeah, but there are different variants, and obviously it's gonna make it even stronger, like it happened in India, where people were just dying from different consequences because of that variant itself. Right? If you didn't die because of COVID, you died because of the consequences of that variant. Right?
Right.
They made a lot of their internal organs. They get affected by it. those people who had like pre-existing conditions made their conditions even worse, which ended up killing them in the process. Um, so I mean, if people are not gonna learn. When, for example, I watch a lot of sports.
Yeah.
People have begun to attend concerts and big public events, especially in NFL games. A lot of college football. A lot of people. College football is even worse. I mean, it's almost the same. But I see a lot of these, you know, all these places where people are telling college football games, and most of them are not even wearing masks. Most of them not even wearing masks. They don't even care. They're like, and I'm sure some of them, like, if they don't even wear a mask, I'm sure they're not even vaccinated as well. And like I
Right.
said, like, if you're young, you have higher chances of surviving. But it's the people around you, the elderly, who might end up paying the price. So those people who don't know that they have uh, a pre-existing condition,
Right.
or they're susceptible to the virus, and their own their own systems cannot take it, and they're gonna end up dying because of it. Because you never know, you never know. Even if you're a young, healthy person, you could end up dying from it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you never. As I said to everyone, you never know who's going to be a part of that 5%. I think you just don't know. I mean, like if you want to think you're invincible, that's fine. It's untrue, but it's fine. You're allowed to think it.
mhm.
But when the reality sets in, the virus is a kind of living thing, and you're not the one who gets to choose what it does, right? Like you're not the one that get to choose what it's gonna do to you. Once you get it, it could just completely wreck you, or it can be gone in an instant. It's just how it works. That's the nature of viruses, right?
Mhm.
So it's just really crazy that talked about at all.
Yeah, I mean, look at New York, for example. Right now, there is. Let me put it on display right here for everyone to see. Only 34 police officers defied the New York's vaccine mandate after union threatened about 10,000 would quit. And in his quotes is that there's literally no effect on service at this point, says New York City Police Commissioner DeWard Shim. Is imagine people are just willing to put their jobs on the line.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's an emotional thing. That's what it is. It's an emotional thing. Like it's like it was like was it Joe Rogan?
I think it was Joe.
Or like typical people, like, right, is that they'll go on and they'll brag, right? They'll be like, hey man, I got COVID. I took like ivermectin. I took all these crazy medicines, right? And you just have everyone there just saying like, how come you're okay with putting all that into your body but not a vaccine?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah. I think I saw a clip of this nurse who came out forward and said, so for all those other like health industry workers who are like prefer to get fired over getting vaccinated, let
Right.
me tell you. And she started naming all these other, drug, drug, what's it called? Any other, other substances that
Right.
people take in a daily basis,
Right.
all right, that have the same ingredients that the vaccine have. I was like, so you're telling me that you take all the ingredients that these other drug have,
Right.
and you take it on a daily basis for when you're suffering from a simple headache or for a stomach issue, and this vaccine has the same stuff. So you're taking those things, but you don't want to take this. It doesn't make any sense. It,
Right.
it just tells you that these people are just you know they're using this as an excuse for just to go out of the way and just bitch about the vaccine because someone else has told you that this is bad, and it goes
Right.
against your own. It's taking your freedom away from you, which is not at all. It's not even a freedom issue. Or
Right.
I should be able to choose whether if I want to take the vaccine or not. I was like, this is a health issue. I mean, a health issue. And usually,
No, they have the right to choose. It's just, their employer has the right to fire them for that choice.
yeah. So you don't want like you want to have the choice. You want to have the freedom, but you don't want your employer to do the same thing. Oh, so why are you gonna fire me? And he has the right to do that if you don't, not obey the rules, but if you don't accept their policies,
Right.
right? So they have a right to say, you know what, I think it's better for us to part ways,
Right.
right, and hire someone who meet or who agree with our own policies. Yeah, it's almost like
That's
It's almost like someone who wants to work at Subway. He doesn't want to wear gloves.
yeah. We've run into that before. But yeah, it's just really
Mhm.
I don't know why I don't know why they would even sacrifice their jobs for this. We're talking like maybe like 30 seconds, right? Out of
Mhm.
your life. And they're just like, nah, that's cool. I don't want to get to that. Like
Yeah,
what I'm like, what a waste of time.
yeah. Some people even say it. Oh, you don't have to take vaccine. You can even go around it. Wear follow protocol, wear a mask and stuff like that. It's not enough. Even if, especially if you work for the health department, especially a nurse, a doctor, anything like that. You're gonna be dealing with people who are sick,
Right,
right?
exactly.
So I was like, you have the right to quit your job if you want to out of spite, but freedom of religion. Bye. Take your religion with you.
Right.
You're cool. Go do it. You go do it and practice that freedom on your house.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
That's what needs to happen. It's like no one because at the end the mistake people make is that people think that the public have to put up.
mm, yeah,
Not but you don't have to do. Like that's the thing. Like no one's trying to do that. No one's trying to be a part of it. It's just that they don't want to get the vaccine. So you have to take drastic issues. You have to have drastic measures because, like you said, they work in healthcare. They're going to be around patients all day. Last thing they give one of their non one of their patients who doesn't have COVID, right? They could end up giving him COVID. So it's like,
okay. So okay, almost before we obviously finish the podcast, we still have a couple of minutes. I just wanna do talk about this real quick. It's about I think Mitch McConnell again. He's back in the news, and the reason why he is because he is reluctant. He has come out and said that he's reluctant uh, to make any kind of payments from the government to migrant families that got separated in the border when Trump was, or it's still now today until this day, right?
right,
So he says that migrant families shouldn't get any compensation because they went through a very turmoil situation when their families got separated at the
right.
borders. So what do you think about this, Kenan?
Hmm.
Do you agree with the fact that
uh,
you know,
I don't. I don't agree. I see. I agree with McConnell to the point where the money, but the reasons why are different. Why for me is because give him like make sure that they're okay after being separated like that, if they can be. You know what I mean? Like make sure you find everyone, make sure you return them where they're supposed to belong, everything. Right? Not don't just throw 'em money, in my opinion.
well, the damage is done.
Exactly.
The damage
Exactly.
is
The damage is
done.
done.
You like some kids are till this day separated from their families. They're lost.
Right.
And for those who have met with their families already, what does a payment compensation is gonna give them? Oh, here's for the fact that you came here and we separated you.
Right.
Maybe what would it could have done is maybe, perhaps a fair trial.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is what they deserve. Make their case just like anyone else. Whether if they meet the requirements to stay in this country as a political assignment. But besides that, I don't understand what will they make. When I read it, it's like, well, they're gonna give them payments because they feel bad about it. I mean, I guess, but people are saying, oh, look, it seems that might as well just go to the border right now and collect a paycheck. They say, oh, let me go to the border and get stopped by the immigration, go to jail, and collect that payment that they're giving to migrant families. Because the thing is, they're making the dumbest fucking reasons why they shouldn't get paid, right? It's like, oh, they didn't serve it. Like, oh, look, Biden is concentrating giving migrant families help, but not the American people. And I kind of agree with it, right? But at the same time, it's like I don't know how giving them payment is gonna solve any traumatic events. Maybe what they should do is like, oh yeah, well let's pay them like an adequate like psychological doctor for those children who had gone under terrible what's it called? Terrible, who has been in terrible situations where they had to deal with problem shit, because some kids even got raped during the stay some of these facilities.
Yeah.
They got tormented, they got raped,
and
so
it is a travesty, and that's what I meant by make sure that everyone's okay, that they all get like therapy first, because you could toss them money, but giving them money is not solving anything. It's not gonna like undo it. It's not gonna fix all their problems. I think they should maybe made that they feel a certain type of way, like they're okay first.
Yeah.
And then you can worry about money after.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There might be some individual instances where give them payment after a trial might be necessary. You know what I mean? But that would be just special occasions. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be just like, okay, everyone make a line, we'll give you a check. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is what it is. I don't like Mitch McConnell. I think he's a racist piece of shit. Hope he dies soon. But
whoa.
hey, I don't condone what I think.
You're not gonna just toss that in there like that.
No, but it's the truth. I mean, his whole livelihood is just to ruin other people's lives. So I don't know. I'm not surprised for him to come out on this one.
No, he's a terrible person by 100%.
Yeah, he's a devil.
He's one of those type of people who make you wish. He's the kind of person who makes an atheist want to believe in hell. But I don't wish death on him.
I mean,
I don't hope he dies.
He's literally one leg in there. Yeah, but it's okay. If you have to give him the push.
Oh wow! Okay.
I'm just playing around, guys. All right, then I think it's we're running out of time already. So thanks, guys, for staying tuned. There's been quite a while since the last time we talked. I hope you guys come back next time we make another episode. Any last comments, Kenan?
Like I said, we don't wish death on anyone here. Okay, Ray was just on some. He was on that COVID vaccine. Okay, he was on that COVID.
Okay, Kenan, whatever. All right, guys. See you guys until the next one. Take care.
Peace.